Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a banger set for y'all. So today I will be reviewing set 75451, the Hot Palace Sentry Droid Showdown. This set includes 4 minifigures, kind of. We'll get into that. Has 2 incredible builds and is from the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Sorry, my phone is wonky because it doesn't fit on screen. Anyways, let's talk about the box. First up on the front of the box, we got this beautiful Mandalorian detail that's with these new Mandalorian sets. We can see the minifigure selection down below. We can see the action battle happening. This set includes 415 pieces and retails for $50 right now. A little bit expensive, but is it worth it? Turning the box around, we can see some of the features, such as the Sentry Droid fighting, the doorway, and Grogu fitting inside the Sentry Droid. On the top, we get a 1-to-1 with Embo. On the bottom, information. On this side, we can see Embo and his wolf thing. I don't exactly know what alien it is. And then we just have the LEGO Star Wars logo with the set number. So let's go ahead and crack into this box and see how many bags are included. So let's unbox this. Be careful when you use knives, ladies and gentlemen. They can be dangerous. Let's get everything laid out. So I have to lift up my phone for this part, but you can see there's a total of 4 bags included, alongside the very bland instruction booklet, and surprisingly, a total of 2 stickers in the set. The rest of this is printed, like Embo's hat, but I think that's pretty obvious. There's not a lot of sticker use on this set, so I'm kind of happy for that. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and build this set up and review it. See y'all in a bit. By the way, I forgot to mention there's this extra piece, which is just like a strap that goes around the droid. But yeah, anyways, that's it. So here's the set all built up. Now let's take a look at the minifigures. Starting out with the new Grogu minifigure, we can see that he has the new body mold that is less baby-like and is more a gown that Grogu wears. This minifigure has the special Mandalorian medallion made out of Beskar that he's wearing. That's really the only thing unique about this one. Other than that, there's no other printing on him. He uses the same face and print as before on his head. Other than that, he's just the standard Grogu. Next up, we have Kievu, Embo's dog-like creature that helps him hunt. As you can see, he is a pretty cool molded figure, one that we've never gotten before. So interesting about this one is most of his body is plastic, same with his head and his ears, but the fur looking pieces like this and on the tail is actually rubber. So it uses a mix of plastic and rubber. He has really nice face printing. It's kind of hard to see with my camera angle, but his face is got really nice intricate printing. There's no other printing throughout his body, but it is a really cool molded animal creature to get. I wish he did have some mouth movement, but it's not necessary. I think he is a pretty cool creature to add to my Star Wars collection. Moving on, we have probably the most bland minifigure of the recent Star Wars wave, which is the Mandalorian. Now, don't get me wrong, this minifigure is beautiful. He has great printing on every side of his arm, his legs, his toes, his chest printing. He even has printing under the jetpack. That is, it's just the back of his gown, the back of the strap. But he does come in a ton of sets. Like, I think he comes in every Mandalorian set that's come out for this wave. So he's not unique, but underneath the helmet, we can actually see he has the Din Djarin face print. No alternate face print, but he is pretty iconic for being released so much. But you can see he has some nice helmet printing along the upper side, but he is, like most every Mandalorian, just going to be the same. He does have the pistol for his accessory, and there's nothing really more to say about him. You can pretty much pick him up in every set you get with this wave. Finally, we have Imbo. The reason most people are probably going to pick up this set is for this minifigure. We haven't seen him since his Clone Wars appearance, but man, building this minifigure is awesome. His hat has some fantastic printing, if it'll focus. There it goes. So you can see it has some fantastic printing to emulate his hat piece from the movie. But moving on, so you can actually see the minifigure himself. He has beautiful face printing to emulate the mouthpiece he wears, and just the eyes are great. Everything about this face print is beautiful. He even has some back printing to his face to emulate the shape of his head in the movie. One thing that's not obvious on the box, because he's always facing this way, but he actually does have arm printing, and you can see that right here. It's not a ton of printing, but it is still cool that he isn't just a bland minifigure. I kind of wish they did it on both arms like they do with the Mandalorian, but still, I'll take what we can get. He has the armor piece up above. He has these straps. The only other thing or critique I would make to this minifigure is a cloth waist cape, since that's what he most commonly wears. In the movie was cloth, but you know, I'll take the printing. It is beautiful printing. It's hard to see, but there is actually a ton of detail within the printing of his lower body area, his legs, and he even has some toe printing. All around though, this minifigure is very beautiful and is certainly one I love to add to the collection. By the way, he also comes with a bowcaster. But yeah, that's it for the minifigures. Let's jump into the actual set. Starting out with the least interesting part of this set is the doorway, the hut doorway that leads into their main palace area. For reference, this piece in the front is not printed. It is a sticker, which is unfortunate, but you can open it up and there's nothing more to it. It's literally just a doorway. You can see on the back, there's just enough studs to put like one minifigure, and he just kind of stands there, and you can kind of have the doors open. He's just there. Other than that, it does nothing. It's kind of an ugly rock work. Like, I wish there was more to this, like a little bit more of the palace, but you know, I guess it's just there to increase the price of this set, because $50 for this set is crazy, but we'll talk about that in a minute. You can only open the door, well, you can open it from this one, but this one overlaps with this one, so you can't close it like that. You have to close it one in front of the other. It's just kind of a random piece, I guess. I feel like they should have done this with one of the huts to like the main palace and not with the sentry guard, but I guess it makes sense because the sentry would be the sentinel would be guarding this. Anyways, let's jump into the sentinel. Moving on, we now have the main build, the sentry guard, and this guy is huge. He is a lot bigger in person than he appears on the box, and here he is compared to a minifigure. He's pretty big. The majority of this set is actually just greebling, and it's made up of a ton of small pieces, and you actually get a lot of extra pieces in this set. So yeah, he is a kind of a pain in the butt to build because you have to pay attention to where everything goes, or it's very easy to miss something. And then once you get to the end and you have a bunch of small pieces, you could miss what's supposed to be greebling and what's extra. Starting from the bottom, his legs are just made up of conglomeration of random pieces, and that's the thing with the whole main of this build, is that it's just a bunch of random pieces. We can see some random colors, some random greebling all along the either side of the minifigure or build. I think this is supposed to be a cloth in the movie, but here it's emulated with a rock work piece that can be used for rocks. I don't know what you call it. Moving up to the main body, I don't remember if this is supposed to be a hand or a turret, but it does have a lot and ton of rotation. Over on this side, we can see that this has a blaster, some more greebling, and the hand is going to be the same on either side. The arm, however, is still a bunch of random pieces. Like this one, you just put that on there and there's nothing else that attaches to it. Like, it's just random pieces. Moving up, we have its head that can't fully move. It's stuck in between these two pieces. But you can see some armor plating to simulate the how it looks in the movie. You can see some dark red and dark green on either side of the minifigure. Moving to the back, we can see that this strap follows it all the way around. And now this is where the main feature of this guy actually comes in. If we just pull from this piece right here and we pull this off, we can actually see that this opens up inside, and it just barely has enough space to fit Grogu. And you can make it seem from the movie, you can recreate this scene from the movie where Grogu climbs inside of the robot and tears apart the wiring and stuff. And so you can recreate that scene by just removing this back panel. A really cool feature that I didn't know was a part of this set, but it's a nice addition. He just falls right out once you're done. It's random, but I mean, it's cool. So that's really it for this. There's not a ton going on here. It's not crazy complicated. It looks complicated, but it's not. Anyways, let's move on to my final thoughts. So at a price point of $50 for 4 minifigures, 1 big mech, and a useless doorway, I would say that this set is ultimately not worth it unless you really want the Embo and his wolf. Other than that, I would say wait until this is on sale and then pick it up. I will admit though, it is a really cool item to have in my collection. It is big, and in my case, I found it worth it, but I would recommend waiting until there's a sale to pick this one up. I think $50 is a little steep for a price point like this, but I do think the minifigures are worth it, and I think the build is ultimately worth it too. I don't have a spot for it in my collection, so I don't know what I'll do with it, but I would rate this one out of 5 stars, 3.5. I just think the price point kind of ruins it, and I also think that the doorway is kind of useless, but I see why they would add it in there. I think the main selling point for this set is really the Embo and the Kibu. Other than that, that's my final thoughts. See you next time, ladies and gentlemen.